What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Stoppage Time Stooges. This is episode 39. Obviously, no Andrew. For those watching on YouTube, he is unavailable. We do have his predictions, though, for the quarterfinals of Euros and Copa America. So you're going to find out what he has to say along with the three of us. Guys, before we get started, how are we doing?
Yeah.
Jacob? I don't know why you're laughing. I'm doing fine.
There it is, the passive aggressive fine.
Always passive aggressive.
Yeah, I'll say also fine, but not in a passive aggressive way. Not a non-Jacob way. Oh, great. How are you doing? How are you doing, Christian?
Well, the U.S. frustrated a lot of people this week, which, by the way, before we get into all of our predictions, we are going to save that for at least when Andrew's back, whether that's next episode or once the tournaments are over. But yes, we have a lot to say about the United States men's national team, not only in the present, but also in the future. So, I'm okay. I've kind of settled in after the result because that was brutal. But
Yeah.
Let's just get into some much better stuff, which is, by the way, an awesome Friday slate. Jacob is not happy it's in the quarterfinals, but
too early.
to get these games at least at any point is pretty cool. So let's not waste any time and let's dive right into Spain versus Germany. It's probably the two best teams in terms of performances throughout this entire tournament. Ricardo, I'll start with you. What are you thinking, and what do you believe is going to be a key factor into this matchup?
Man, I've been saying this matchup is going to happen one way or another, and the fact that it's here and it's happening, I'm like, I'm so excited for it. I just, the midfield to me is what highlights it for both. Defensively, both teams are also very solid, and it's interesting because they're kind of similar, at least on the attacking, for or at least the number 9 position. They both don't exactly have the best striking options, I would say, but everywhere else they're very strong. So it's just fascinating to me, the hosts versus, I mean, arguably the team that's played the best in Spain. So man, it's just the midfield. My eyes everywhere, really. Like I could pick out every single matchup, but I think the biggest one for me personally, I'm just gonna go into the X Factor real quick. I think you said you had him last week. I had Dani Carvajal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with that for the reason of, I mean, Musiala lines up. I know it's more kind of like a left central attacking mid, but still, it'll be going down that side against Carvajal. And Musiala's, he has 3 goals in this tournament, and which is joint first. So I think that's going to be a really good matchup there. And just Carvajal obviously is also a threat going forward. So I think that's a pretty noteworthy one. And if he can limit Musiala, then maybe Germany might have a tougher time scoring.
That's fair. Jacob, what area of the field are you looking towards?
I'm curious to see which attack performs better. Whether it's Spain with Nico Williams, Alvaro Morata, and Lamine Yamal, or Kai Havertz. Are Germany playing? What do you think? How would you describe Germany's attack? Is it like a 3 up top? Is it 1 up top?
I guess Gundogan's playing more as a 10. So it's kind of a
wouldn't you consider their attacking options? You would probably say like Musiala, Havertz, and who's on the right?
Well, it depends if he wants to go with Sané or Verts.
Yeah,
one of those two.
How did Sané look? I don't know if either of you watched the full match.
I think he looked okay.
He
looked like Bayern Sané. I mean, that's what he looked like. You went like, you probably like did this with your eyes, like, oh, he's about to do something, and then he didn't, and then you wanted more. I guess that's a bigger question: is what will Julian Nagelsmann line up with? How will he line up? Will he line up with the same? Because Spain, I mean, with the exception of the Albania game, have doled out the same 11 every game.
Yeah,
pretty much, with the same structure and the same system. So we know what their lineup is going to be unless, and again, they don't have anyone that is sitting up because of yellow cards. So we know what they're going to be giving us. And it's been a very consistent 11. I like Spain to win this game. I do. I know Germany is their home turf. I understand that. But Spain really impressed me last week. And yes, I understand Georgia was not a very good team, but still, they went down 1-0 early in the game. They could have easily have just folded, panicked, and they said, nope, we're going to score 4 unanswered goals and act like it never happened. And that's what they did. And they really took it to them. And that really impressed me. So with that, I'm going to pick them to win 3-1 over Germany.
Oof.
And this is, and I know what you're thinking. This is not because I don't think Germany are very good. I think Germany are very good, but I just think Spain is going to really give it to them. I think that they're good enough to do so. Again, nothing in this with the score, not much would surprise me. This is not an easy game to pick, even though I picked 3-1 for Spain. I could easily see Germany winning this game, but I just think Spain are red hot right now, and I don't think anything's going to screw that up. So I'm going to stick with them. I guess you want an X factor. I will say Morata is going to score in the air. That's my prediction. Alvaro Morata with a header.
Just to go back to you, Ricardo, who are you picking to win the match? I know you mentioned an X factor.
Yeah, 2-1 Spain.
And who is your X factor?
Carvajal.
Oh, yep. Dani Carvajal. Back to the well.
It's going to be a clean sweep from the three of us, at least, because I'm also going 2-1 Spain. And just to double down, I'm also taking Morata as the X factor. I think he's been quiet since that first match.
Yeah.
No goal involvement since the game against Croatia. It was a good goal. He drove through the middle of the defense. Yeah. Good finish. But, he's not going to get dropped. He's the captain.
Yeah.
He needs to perform well because I think this game will be tight, at least at some point in that second half. And probably a big chance will fall to him. And whether or not he takes it could determine whether or not Spain goes through for me. So I think he needs to be clinical with, let's say, 1 or 2 big chances he gets in this match. I think if he buries it, I feel very good about Spain going through. Because, again, Germany, not great against Switzerland. From what I heard, they weren't great against Denmark. And if
they were lucky to get a draw at Switzerland. I mean,
So last 2 matches, not great. And, again, Jacob's spot on. Spain went down 1-0 against Georgia and just continued to put pressure and more pressure on them. Rodri scores from outside the box, something he's done on a numerous occasions for Manchester City. And again, with Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams doing what they've been doing at this tournament, it's hard to see those wing backs really having a lot of success against them. So I have Spain winning 2-1. Andrew is the one person who's picked Germany. He has it going 1-1 and Germany winning 5-4 on PKs. His X factor is Toni Kroos, and he said, quote, "This will be a methodical match where he is extra important in establishing control and not making idiotic decisions in the midfield." So he is picking them to win in a shootout, which is very interesting. I don't know which keeper I trust more on PKs, but Germany having the home crowd would give them some sort of advantage, at least in PKs.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I didn't expect 3 people to pick Spain, but, that makes me feel pretty good. All right, so that's one of the huge matches on Friday. That's at noon.
Yeah.
Second match, which is going to be also very entertaining, is Portugal versus France. Not great from either team.
No.
Despite getting to the quarterfinals. I think both have been very uninspiring, especially given their expectations.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Jacob,
especially France. I know we want to rag on Portugal because Ronaldo missed a penalty, but France have 1 goal. I mean, they have 1 goal from open play or something like that. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they had an own goal. They had an Mbappe penalty kick. And a penalty kick, and they didn't score against Poland. What was
Netherlands?
Netherlands. Excuse me. I mean, they have squeaked to this point, to be frank. No Adrian Rabiot in the midfield. I'm very interested to see who Didier Deschamps puts in his place, because Rabiot's like I guess an 8. He's
Yeah.
semi box to
Left
box.
sided 8.
Because to me, listen, I know how much you guys, Ricardo and Andrew, love Eduardo Camavinga. But if you're gonna play with N'Golo Kante and Chouameni, it would make zero sense to play Camavinga there if you want, not if you want to score any goals. I mean, you will get no goals out of that midfield. They'll defend like.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, if you want to park the bus, that would be the greatest midfield ever to do that. But,
you're discrediting Camavinga too much. But anyway,
all right, fine. My thing is he's a holding midfielder. You're not. I mean, who would you guys put
Can
there?
Chouameni play as an 8?
yes, he did. He did play last game as the 8.
And he put some decent shots together, but I don't know. I think Deschamps is going to want to find a midfielder that can give you more of a scoring threat. And maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think?
Ricardo, I'll go to you first.
I mean, yeah. Well, wouldn't you just play? Griezmann's not suspended, right? No, he's
only player that's
just
been
bad.
Available is Rabiot.
Yeah. Okay. So then you could just play him at the 10, and then
you could
figure out the other two, the wing and Mbappe.
I mean, yeah, you could do that. Maybe
like
Zaire Emery. Has Zaire Emery played at all?
No.
Yeah, he's probably not going to do him out
That'd
there.
Be very bold to do.
I would not be surprised if he went with Kolo Muani, because he loves Kolo Muani.
He's the only person that came on against Belgium. Only substitution.
He loves Kolo Muani. He loves
play him at striker. Then
him off the wing too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And you know that he's going to take Thuram out after like 30, 40 minutes, because he'll be like,
yeah,
Thuram's been quiet.
Yeah,
like not what I expected.
Not good enough. Yes, again, him like Morata, they haven't been bad. They just haven't been good enough, so to speak. Yeah. I wouldn't classify their performances as bad. I just don't think that they've been good enough.
And they were fortunate to go against Belgium, who one of the other teams, big name, that doesn't perform well. So I'd probably go Kolo Muani. I mean, you can make a case for maybe Bradley Barcola to come on the wing too. I know Andrew was kind of speaking for that. I just think they need to put Griezmann back centrally.
I would agree. Yeah.
Because, I mean, they won the 2018 World Cup because of him and Giroud playing with such a good partnership. I think they need to go back to having him playing underneath the striker. It's not going to be Giroud because he hasn't played many minutes in this tournament, but
which is a surprise to me.
Yeah,
considering his goal scoring record.
At least bring him off the bench. I would at least give him 30 minutes every match, just because he offers.
I completely agree.
Okay, so that's how we see France lining up potentially. What do we think of Portugal?
Not going to make. I don't think he's going to make any radical changes. Roberto Martinez. I think he's going to stick with the Leao, Ronaldo, Bernardo Silva, Bruno. I don't think Paulinho's been. He's been okay. He hasn't really impressed me that much. I've been a little underwhelmed with his performances. I don't think the thing is they have such a loaded team, and he hasn't made a lot of. I mean, he only made changes when that one game where they didn't have to win against Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he put Danilo Pereira in there. I don't know.
No, I definitely won't.
I don't think.
I mean, he's
not as athletic.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say maybe because of his experience, but. I don't know. I don't think he will. I think he'll stick with Paulinho. I don't think there are going to be a lot of radical changes with this 11. These two managers have been very straightforward about what they do. They're pretty consistent with what they do. I don't think that that's going to change. This is a tough game to predict. I'm annoyed because, again, I had these two teams in my final.
I think all three of us did.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think we all.
Again, UEFA. Come on, listen. I know this is random. It's not.
Double
if you're
wing.
gonna do that, yeah, emphasize the double wing. If you're gonna come on, can we mix it up? Do we have to put all of those teams on the same bracket? Did that have to be the case? And again, Christian was right earlier when he said, "I'd rather get the games than not get them at all." Which is true, but still, do what's right. Should have done what's right. But nonetheless, I am picking France to win 1-0. It breaks my heart to pick against Cristiano Ronaldo. and meaning that he won't have an open a goal that in the whole tournament, which makes this even harder saying it now. Still an icon, still a legend.
No one's arguing that.
No.
I know,
Well,
but I have to make it known. I don't want that to be forgotten. I think it's going to be a France 1-0 goal. It's going to be off a corner header from Upamecano, Dayot Upamecano. I kept thinking to myself when I did this, my predictions, like it's going to be from someone that you don't expect. This hasn't been a great Mbappe showing, even pre-face mask. He didn't look that good in that one game. Griezmann has been really quiet. Dembele has been okay. Marcus Thuram hasn't been.
Dembele too on the wing.
Yeah. So their attack has been pretty uninspiring, underwhelming rather. So that's why I'm going to stick with the defender scoring the only goal of the game and France moving on with a 1-0 victory.
Ricardo?
That'd be quite fitting defensively. I mean, that's just defensively they're great. Attack wise is where the issue is, but I'm gonna kind of stick with that. I also had 1-0 to France. This one doesn't really. I don't know. Portugal's been somehow less inspiring than France in the attack.
Are you sure?
Maybe they're about the same.
Because I actually think that Portugal have done a much better job of actually creating good chances than France have.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think you can make an argument for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I big chances that they've been creating.
I mean, the way he measured is at times Ronaldo screamed at the top of his lungs. And I would argue that's happened more. Although then again, he does that when he doesn't get the ball. But
I was going to say, that's just how he is. But in any case, I'm going to stick with a defensive X factor, I guess. I'm going to go with Jules Koundé. I mean, he had arguably his best game against Belgium, and he was a threat off the right-hand side and more so in the attack than I expected. I really thought they would have used Theo Hernandez a bit more, but
they love playing center backs at right back. I mean,
but like he's
been good.
He's solid.
They did it with Pavard. They're doing it with Koundé.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna stick with that trend of, I guess, right backs. I already picked out Rahal, so I'm gonna go with Koundé too. So, and he's gonna be matched up against Leal. So, I mean, say what you want about him, but it is a very juicy matchup. Speed and defense. I don't know. It's just. I just highlight that.
So I assume that your next few X factors will be Kyle Walker, Denzel Dumfries, Danilo, and
yeah, pretty much. No, okay. This is honestly, I think, my only two right backs. I do have another defender.
Okay. Ooh, I can't
we'll have to wait for that.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Andrew has also gone with France. He has them winning 2-1. His X factor is Tchouaméni. And he said, quote, nice. This is a funny quote for him. He said, this is the game where he scores a, quote, bombazo from outside the box.
He could.
We saw it. Who was it in the World Cup? Was it England?
What year?
It was England. It was England.
In 22?
Yeah, it was.
My thing with these games have been, if I was a gambling man, I would just bet the under on goals because we haven't had a lot of high-scoring games at all. Yeah. Have we had a game with 4 goals in it? Or no, we have, but
no, we've had a few.
We've had a few, but it seems like it's
a lot of them are 3 and under, definitely.
Yeah.
Can I bet own goal? Like, is that allowed?
own goals haven't.
We're definitely gonna have at least one within one of these games.
One in this round, definitely.
I feel it.
I'm gonna go with Portugal though. I took them as my champion, so I can't really back away from them now. I do think if they win, it's going to be because of Diogo Costa, the goalkeeper.
Valid.
Tremendous in that penalty.
I can't.
Oh my gosh!
It's not even the PKs. That save against Sesko when Pepe slipped. I mean, he was almost 16, 17 yards out of his zone and just made a save with his foot. I mean, it was awesome.
What club does Diogo Costa?
Porto.
Yeah.
So maybe he gets a big move. I don't. There are definitely teams in Europe that need goalkeepers. So
yep.
I think he's going to have a big game. If they win, I think France is going to put pressure on him late into our normal time, and he's going to have to come up with some big saves. So I have Portugal winning 1-0 narrowly. But I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, regardless of who wins. It just seems like neither attack is, progressively getting better as the tournament goes on. It's just kind of stalled out. So, yeah, we'll see how that one goes. And let's talk about another team that's been underwhelming, England.
Oh Lord.
England versus Switzerland. Switzerland, who were very good against Italy. A weak Italy team that was very disappointing in the first round of 16 matchup. England very lucky too. Like some of the other teams we've talked about. Jude Bellingham with an awesome goal with 30 seconds left in stoppage time. And then Harry Kane, less than a minute into the first extra time period, scores to give them the win against, it was Slovenia or Slovakia? Slovenia. Jacob, I'll start with you.
I don't even know.
I'll have to double check.
When we did our predictions, Switzerland, I considered my sleeper. And I'm not backing down now. Especially because they're playing England without their best player, Mark Gahey.
Yes, good mention.
And I'm joking and I'm serious. Because if you told me before the tournament that Mark Gahey would be the best English player, I would have said that you're insane.
All of us would, definitely.
And I know the fact that he can't be able to play in this game is maybe a small indictment on him, but I don't care. I think he's still been really good. I think Crystal Palace are lucky to have him, and I don't understand why I don't hear this team's after Mark Gahey. I don't know why I don't hear those reports. Man United are bidding whatever X million for Mark Gahey instead of Jared Brantwaite or De Ligt, but that's beside the point. I think Switzerland are winning this game 2-1. Gareth Southgate, he's gonna give us the same tactics. It's gonna be Saka, even though, and yes, I'm a little biased, but I'm sorry, Cole Palmer is better than Bukayo Saka. Put Bukayo Saka on Chelsea and then put Cole Palmer on Arsenal. You tell me who's gonna end up being the better player.
Not the only one saying that.
Well, I mean, I don't understand what Gareth needs. What more proof does he need? The Saka experiment isn't working very much. I'm not trying to rag on him. I don't know. I just think Palmer, there's more. He's given more in a limited amount of time. And if he's going to put him on the bench, just get him in the game earlier, please.
Yeah.
Like if you're not if the game's not going well and you're down a goal, put him on to start the second half. Not with 10 minutes left. Or now with 4 minutes left, like Ivan Toney when he brought him on with 2 seconds left. Like, hey, Ivan, go save the game. We only been on.
By the way, he had an assist, so somehow that worked.
Yeah.
But I like Switzerland to win this game 2-1. Granit Xhaka is my X factor. I think he'll get a goal somehow, some way. He's played against England, whether it was in these games, and obviously playing for Arsenal all those years. He's played against a lot of these players, and I think he'll show up because I think if Switzerland are going to win this game, he's going to have a big game. So I think he will, and I think Switzerland will win this game 2-1. Sorry, England, another disappointment.
By the way, Xhaka was awesome against Italy. He was running circles around their midfield. So
yeah,
I would not put it past him to have a signature performance in this match. But Ricardo, are you in agreement with Jacob, or are you going the other way?
No, I'm in agreement with him. I just Switzerland has shown way more, especially on the attacking front, than England has at any point. So, with that being said, man, we're on the same wavelength in terms of score. I said 2-1 too. So,
don't be ashamed.
I'm not going to change it. Maybe I'll say no. I'm going to leave it. I was tempted to say 2-0. I was tempted to say 2-0.
Now he's attempted to say
no. Now I'll say 2-0. No, you're right. I will.
Okay. So he is gonna flip.
2-0 Switzerland, and my X factor. I don't know if he's underrated necessarily, but at least against Italy he stood out. Ruben Vargas. He had the goal last game, and has an assist as well. I just feel like he's one of those under the radar guys who just also high motor, and I guess most of Switzerland is like that, but. Just against Italy specifically, I feel like he really stood out, and I think he can build off that, and especially with Gahey out, whoever I don't really know who is going to play alongside Stones. I mean, that could be, again, another advantage to them. Maybe he can exploit that mismatch. Or
Who would you guys
lack
play
of-
there? I forgot to ask that. Who would you guys play in place of Marquehi at center
Not
back?
Lewis Dunk, I can say that much.
I'll tell you who he is in about 2 minutes when I give you my X Factor.
Oh boy. Okay.
I know who it's gonna be. Well, I have two people. I know who it's gonna be.
You might as well say it then.
All right, so Jacob, who's
Does
your
he play for a team in red?
no?
You were gonna say Joe Gomez, weren't you?
Well,
Come on.
or Konsa.
Consa doesn't play in red. It's like what's blue.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Kwanzaa. My bad.
Yeah, I was like,
All right, so I'll just go right.
I mean,
into that.
same crap. I mean, they both are.
yeah.
Okay, we don't need to talk about Liverpool today.
Hey, Kwanzaa, great assist to Bruno.
Oh God.
What a pass!
Had to
I
bring
don't
it
want to
up.
remember that day, please.
You didn't even lose the game.
Yes, but
No.
dropping points
Oh,
is
man.
not
Yeah.
necessary at that point in title race. Anyways,
Oh,
I don't
that
want
was
to talk about
hilarious. Sorry.
them. I'm going against you guys. I'm a little worried because again, England's either they're going to take advantage of a lifeline they got from a world-class strike, or they're just going to go back to what they did again.
Exactly. That's what they're
Probably
gonna do.
Probably going to do the latter, but I'm going to bank on the quality coming out. I don't know why. I'm just kind of thinking.
Can't
I'm
do
kind of
it.
just guessing here at this point, hoping that they're right. England's going to win narrowly 1-0, and my X factor is Ezri Konsa.
Can you imagine if they actually came out and were up 3-0 at halftime? I mean, how surprised would you be?
I would be
beyond
shocked.
surprise.
And then it went to extra time.
That would be
Oh,
unreal.
that'd be so funny.
That would be the worst collapse ever.
Not if they won. No one would care.
Yeah.
I guess so.
I'm going to ask you guys because it's something I saw today. There was a report. I don't remember who it was from. I think it was something with Sky mentioning a potential 3 in the back formation for England with Gehi gone.
Why?
You could do it because you could play Kyle Walker as that right center back, Stones centrally, and then Konsa as that left center back. And then you could
I don't
then
hate
bring
it.
Trent in.
I actually don't hate it. I'm going to tell you why I don't hate it. Because one, he can't make up his mind over the third midfield spot. And if you did that, you'd only have to play with 2 midfielders. 2, I've been saying this, if you want to get the best out of Trent, you have to play him as a wingback. That's the best way you're going to get stuff out of Trent, defensively and going forward. And this is what they did in 2018 in the World Cup. And it wasn't pretty, but it worked. It worked when he played that style. And when, which is the style that I think he wanted to play versus the style that I think he's playing now to cater to the fans and certain people. So again, it wouldn't be sexy, so to speak, but I actually think it might work. Although the problem is that you have to play 3 center backs and you really only want to play 1 when it comes to Stones. I mean, I think is that when you play with 3 center backs, it makes their job easier. It hides their deficiencies. It would hide the deficiencies of someone like Dunk or Gomez or Konsa or whoever the hell you want to put there. Plus, Walker's done it before. I actually kind of like the idea of doing it. I do.
Man,
Again, not the best time to experiment.
That's what I was going to say.
The worst time. But it is a group that's somewhat familiar with that formation under
That's
him.
why I would really think about it.
At least some of the players have been there. And they are very young in certain areas, but
So who's left back? Saka?
That might work.
you
You don't have to defend as much.
Trippier, I guess you play as a left wing back.
Or you could just put Saka there. It might actually work better.
He
because
would
you don't
get
have
killed for that if he did it.
But
But you know what? He did it when they were scrambling to go find a goal. So,
but this is the thing. If you put Saka there, he wouldn't have to defend in the same amount and as much. He would have more freedom to go forward if you played him as a wingback.
problem is if you do that,
And then you could play Palmer on the right.
Forward.
What?
The problem is you can't bomb Trent and Saka both.
Well, you got 3 center backs. You're playing Switzerland, not Brazil in the 90s. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's
You know
gonna
what,
be.
if I'm Gareth, you know what I say? You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna get fired anyway. I'm gonna go out my way. That's what
By the
I'm
way,
going
this is
for.
why Luke Shaw never should have been put on the squad.
Can I just no? When you say
And
my way,
Joel.
when you, when you say
Wrong, but right, we're on the right track.
Jacob, when you say I'm gonna go out my way is playing the exact same formation he's been playing the entire time. That's his
No,
way.
it's not.
Yes,
Because
it is. He's
but
been
he did this in 2018 that worked better.
whatever.
And he didn't have as much pressure to cater to everybody back in 2018 because he was somewhat newer to the job.
Well, yeah, that he gets the benefit of the doubt early on. Now he doesn't.
I don't know.
It's
You
not
know,
happening.
I don't think it
Gareth,
happens,
do whatever the
but-
hell you want. They're gonna hate you anyway. It really doesn't make much of a difference. You're basically a lame duck, so to speak, for lack of a better word.
Yeah,
It's a lame duck tournament for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not the only one picking England. Andrew is also going with them. 2-1 in extra time. And his X factor
He loves
is
the extra time.
No.
his X factor is Cole Palmer, and he said, quote, gonna keep saying his name.
Fair enough.
I think that's a wise pick for an X factor if England wins. But
That'll make me happy if England win. If he scores a goal, I'd be very happy.
we'll see.
And he can do and he can do this.
Yeah, I love
And
watching.
he could do it right. He should walk to Southgate. He should give him a hug, and then he should do. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that, Cole.
But same no.
I want you to. I don't want you to have a bad image. Don't do that, please.
Well, split choices here. We'll see how that one unfolds. But let's finish off with Netherlands versus Türkiye. Who,
I know.
I mean, Demi Rouse.
I can see it. I can see it in his face.
No,
he wants to pick Turkey because
I really do.
he goes Arda Güler.
I love that man like no other. No good. No, not sus like that. All right,
All right, your take on this game, man, Ricardo.
I'm gonna just hop off real quick.
No.
This is what happens when your brain is absolutely fried after a grinding shift. But anyway, my heart does want to pick Türkiye, but I can't do it.
They're not going to get upset if you don't say it right.
I mean, listen, I picked against. I thought Austria was going to win. So did you, Jacob, and they proved us wrong. So who knows? Maybe they do it again. But I'm not counting.
They deserve to win that game, and that's why I'm angry about it.
That was a wild game, but yeah. In any case, I just think. I mean, I'm really torn right now. I have the Netherlands winning 2-1. There's a part of me that wants to make it 3-2. The other part wants me to pick Türkiye, but I'm just gonna stick with it.
Flip
2-1?
Flip.
I'm gonna say 2-1. Yeah, and
You want to flip?
No, I'm not flipping.
Yes.
I'm gonna. I can't do it. And my X factor. I'm actually going back to defense. I lied. I have two more. Nathan Ake, because of Arda Güler. So I mean, they're literally facing off against each other if you think about it. Even the last game he played, I guess as his forward, more of a striker, he can still kind of interchange with. I forget who was playing at the right last game.
Tosin? No, not Tosin.
No, he was playing right.
who?
He was. I can't remember who was playing on the right because Arda was playing striker, or at least that's how he had lined up. I don't know. For some reason, they put him central like that. But either way, I think if Arda's coming off the right, you're obviously going to have to close off the left. So, yeah. So, keep him on the outside. And I think that's going to be a huge part. I mean, because you could argue Arda's the biggest goal-scoring threat Türkiye have. And most creative, certainly.
He's the biggest threat they have, period, in my opinion. I know Katal, how do you say his name? The guy that plays for Inter.
Yildiz?
No, the guy that plays for
Inter?
Oh, Çalhanoğlu?
Yeah.
He's back from suspension, so he got that game of rest.
That helps.
Yeah, but Netherlands 2-1. Ake is my X factor.
Jacob?
Uh
He's going for it.
No. I'm laughing because I have the same score prediction as Ricardo.
Why?
Again.
We're on the same wavelength. I'm
All right,
telling
so
you.
are you
Yeah.
going to flip then?
No, I'm not gonna flip because I'm not ashamed to have the same score prediction as Ricardo Martinez Paz. Netherlands 2-1. It will be an ugly game. There will be moments where you go, "Oh my God, Netherlands, how?" But they will figure it out. 2-1. Memphis, as Andrew calls him, Memphis Allen Iverson Depay with that with that headband on. He'll get a goal. He's my X factor, and Netherlands will move on. Sorry, Türkiye. I like Arda Güler too, but
Not as much as me.
obviously not. But thank you for showing up, Turkey. I'm sorry you have to go back home.
Well, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you want to take it, I am the third person to take a 2-1 victory for the Netherlands.
Nice. So it's not going to happen.
No, now it's going to be 2-1 Türkiye. It's going to flip.
Oh, that's fine with me. And that's all I'm saying.
The Netherlands are my dark horse, so I hope not.
Yeah.
I think Xavi Simons is going to be very influential, which makes me feel like the other midfielders have a huge role to play to kind of disrupt Çalhanoğlu and their attacking-minded midfielders. So I'm going with Tijani Reinders, the Milan midfielder. Really good tournament so far. He's been very good as kind of an 8. I think his defensive work is going to be really important in this match. Türkiye has had a ton of yellows, a lot of fouls. I think they're going to be very physical, and it's going to try to slow the pace down of this game. Whether it's Bergwijn or Gakpo, Frimpong, whoever is playing on those wing positions, they really want to hit in transition. I think Türkiye is going to do everything in their way to disrupt that rhythm. So I think it's going to be a very slow, difficult game for the Netherlands, but I do think they win 2-1. Andrew has the Netherlands winning 3-2 and Xavi Simons as his X factor. He said pace will be key in breaking against the Turkish midfield and defense. And then he took a dig at Austria and said if he was Austrian, they would have advanced. Don't know what to tell you, Jacob.
Austria did better than all of you thought. So,
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And they made me proud. Wreck-It Ralph is back.
No.
That's a guy we should be going after. The U.S.
Oh,
Probably.
I guarantee you, if we had Ralph Rangnick, we get out of that group. Guarantee. But you know who you're gonna love. If only Andrew were here, and I won't get too off track. But the perfect guy. You know who's the perfect guy to manage the No.
Oh, please don't say that.
To manage the United States.
Yeah, we know. Mauricio Pochettino.
No.
Oh, say that.
Wow.
You're gonna.
I don't know then.
Xavi.
No.
Can you imagine Xavi as our coach?
Said you're right.
Absolutely.
No. Can you imagine Xavi if he was our manager for that game against Panama?
He would have been sent off in the first 2 minutes.
He would have been sent off because the West had dropped off. He would have said something that he shouldn't have said, and then he would have been gone.
He would he'd turn Weah into Rafinha.
I mean,
yeah. Let's shut this down.
That's impossible.
All right, that's enough Euros. Before we get into our predictions for the quarterfinals of Copa America, let's look at our standings. Because let's be honest, you guys haven't seen it yet. We did not do well.
Not sure.
So this is the numbers. Ricardo 9 for 16.
Oh my God! Jesus, holy!
Jacob got correct positions for 3 of 16. Jacob's face, if those are watching on YouTube, see it right now. It kind of says it all. But in terms of teams getting into the quarterfinals, we did a little better. 6 for 8, 6 for 8, 6 for 8, 5 for 8.
Only in last by 1.
So, yeah, we got some work to do on these predictions.
Yikes.
But, yeah, let's quickly get into these. Argentina versus Ecuador. I assume everyone's going to be picking one team. Jacob, I'll start with you.
I was tempted to pick Ecuador.
Shut up.
No, I'm serious. I think Ecuador are a decent side. I think they've had some decent games. I know that they weren't.
I
the
wonder why
greatest.
he's picking them to have it as a close game. Caicedo?
Kendry?
Okay.
Kendry, my Lamine Yamal.
Shut up.
He's my Lamine Yamal. And there's nothing you can, or maybe Estevao is my.
Hey,
Lamine
you know,
Yamal.
I hope he's that to what Arda is to me. So
No, he's got to be better than Arda.
You're talking
He's-
highly of Arda
He
today.
needs to be Lamine Yamal.
I will always talk highly of Arda. That's all.
What if Arda misses a penalty in the Copa del Rey?
It's fine. He's young. That's my excuse.
Oh, no. You're not going to be saying that when the game's going on.
He won't be taking one as a thing. So
Anywho, I was very tempted to pick Ecuador. Very tempted.
Can't believe
But I'm sticking with Argentina. 3-2. I don't think they were that good in the group stage. I thought that they were not nearly good. I thought Messi was really rusty against Canada. They should have killed them, in my opinion. That game should have been a lot more than 2-0. But the best bench player in the tournament, Lautaro Martinez, will continue to fill that role and score at least a goal.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know what you're thinking. Why is he still on the bench? But you know what? If I'm Scaloni, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Honestly, I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with that juju, in all honesty. So I would just keep him on the bench, and do what I'm doing with him because it's working. So I wouldn't want to mess that up at all. And yeah, I think Ecuador put up a good fight, though. I really do. I don't think they're gonna go down easily. But Argentina are just too much for them. So 3-2 Argentina. X factor Lautaro Martinez.
Cardo?
I'm gonna say 2-0. I'm not gonna say an easy 2-0. I think Argentina might score late to make it 2-0. And I'm gonna go my X factor, McAllister. So I mean, he has an assist, but I feel like there's more he could give. I mean, he's played off the left, in the middle, as an 8. So, but either way,
I know who won't be the X factor for Argentina.
You're gonna say, I know, yeah, say it. I know you're gonna say it.
Wait, no, it's Alvarez. No, I'm kidding. It's N0 Fernandez.
Yeah, probably not.
N0.
Oh,
I gotta get it out now before the season starts.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's gonna be worse when the season
it's
starts.
just warming up.
Yeah. So I'm also going with Argentina to win by a score of 2-1. I was tempted to go with a couple different players, but I think Rodrigo De Paul is going to be key in this game, just because I think when you're talking about players who can fly all over the place in the midfield, he's one of them in the world. And this Ecuador team, at least in that area, is pretty athletic and quick, mobile. So I think just having him disrupt things and stop counterattacks with his speed and his tackling is going to be important, because Ecuador does have threats going the other way, and I think they are going to be, difficult to stop in transition. And I think Argentina, again, as you guys have mentioned, I think it's going to be difficult. They haven't been great, and they haven't buried their chances most of the time through the first 65 to 70 minutes. I expect that to continue. And again, the player for Ecuador is Ener Valencia. He needs to be sharp. He lost his head in that first match and got sent off. He can't be in that same mode in this match. He has to be really clinical. I think there is a path where Ecuador could send this thing to penalties. Because, again, I don't know if you guys know this, but there are no extra time in these earlier rounds of
ridiculous, stupid. Just
it's very odd. But I wouldn't be surprised if this thing gets sent to penalties, to be honest. Argentina have been great, and Ecuador have been a difficult team to play against in CONMEBOL in these games. So I do think Argentina wins 2-1. Andrew has also gone with 2-0. And his X factor is also who Jacob took, Lautaro. He thinks that right now he's the best Argentinian player, and he came off the bench for 2 matches. So he's expecting another goal, and that will help him in his Golden Boot candidacy. So
He won't be La Caca Martinez.
I don't
Sure.
think anyone's ever said that, but
So everybody's got Argentina. I
Correct.
think it's
Yeah.
pretty fair given the depth and quality for them. But let's go to the other match on that side of the bracket. It's Venezuela versus Canada. Surprising Venezuela for all of us. Nobody had them finishing first. Everybody, I think, besides me, had them finishing outside of the top 2. But kudos to them. Samuel Rondon's been awesome, taking his form from club to the international level, and Canada representing CONCACAF. So, how we lean in this way?
Sorry, Canada.
Say it.
What? I said it.
Say the score. Say the
Oh.
score. What did you score?
I'm getting to it. Someone's a little impatient.
I don't got all day here. No, I'm kidding.
I know. We're making good time. 1-0.
Damn it.
Wait, you don't know who he's picking.
I should have said it first.
Venezuela. Salomon Rondon. X factor as he'll scored the goal. Because who else?
Fair.
And now Ricardo will inevitably change his pick.
No, I'm sticking with this.
He's so ashamed to have the same pick as me.
No, I'm sticking with it. I don't care. I just feel like it's going to be low scoring anyway. I mean, most of these games have been. But my
Especially
X
with Canada.
factor, my last defender / wingback, if you want to call him, Daniel Munoz, because he has 2 goals. And I mean, he has been very active off that right side. So I'm not saying he's going to score again, but he is a threat attacking wise.
I believe he's the right back that plays for Colombia, correct?
Oh, did I actually say that? Oh my God. Wait. No, I swear. Wait.
Is there also a Munoz that plays for Venezuela?
Let's just say that there is. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I swear I looked at these stats earlier. And maybe I am wrong.
I think you are.
That is tragic. Well,
let me double check. Maybe I'm wrong.
I could have sworn I was looking at these stats earlier.
And
I'm wrong. That's my.
Would you like me to come back to you?
Oh my God! I realized. Okay, well, I switched.
What did you mean to say?
You know, come back to me on that because I realized I copied and pasted the wrong over my other player.
That's okay. It's understandable. Okay. Before I get to my pick, it looks like Andrew's going to be the only one that picks Canada. He's going with 2-1, and his X factor is Maxime Crépeau, the goalkeeper.
Canada scored 2 goals all tournament.
Crépeau has been great for them. I think probably their best player on form. I think Jonathan David and Alphonso Davies haven't been great, but he has them advancing because of him, and he said that he's been the breakout keeper of this tournament, and he senses that he'll make a few unbelievable saves to ultimately help them win. So he's going with Canada. I'm going with Venezuela by the same scoreline, so 2-1. And I'm not going to go with Rondon because he's their standout player. I'm going to go with Yangel Herrera, who plays his club football for Girona. And, you know, there's a couple of good players for Canada in that area of the field. Kone and Tajon Buchanan, if he comes off the bench and is playing off the wing. I think Herrera is going to have to be really important in both the attacking front and also in his defensive work. Rondon's obviously their best player, but I think if you're looking at others, Herrera is going to be an important one as well. Ricardo, do you have an X factor?
I'm just going to throw, I'm just going to say, has he even played all the game? I don't know. I can't believe I totally fumbled that.
Just pick a name out of a hat.
Darwin Machis is that. I'm just going to go with him.
What's his name again? Sorry.
Darwin Machis.
The best Darwin in the tournament?
Yes. I don't even know if he's. I just pulled one out of the hat there. Damn, that's tragic. Hate to see that one.
That's right. All right. So 3 for Venezuela, 1 for Canada. We'll see if Andrew is the only one that gets it right. He probably will be somehow.
Have
Colombia
faith.
versus Panama. Colombia are, for me, the second best team on form in this tournament right now. You could definitely argue first. Do we think there's an upset in this one?
Hell no.
No.
This is
There's
going to be a
predictions.
bloodbath.
Can I
Colombia's
go
going to
first?
smack.
Can I go first on the score?
Sure.
Go first on the score.
Okay, I'm gonna say 2-0.
Oh, damn it, we didn't have the same score.
Well, tell me you said 2-1.
3-0.
Oh my lord!
They're gonna smack them in the mouth.
All right.
Just like the
All right,
just like how they smack the way Panama likes to play dirty tricks. They're gonna get beaten badly in this game, in my opinion. James Rodriguez, my X factor, goal and an assist. The third goal, I don't know. Yerry Mina will surprise us somehow, get off the bench. I don't know. But Colombia rout Panama 3-0. I think Panama's going to get beaten badly. And if it wasn't Panama, it would have been us. So, it's a big difference.
Probably.
Jacob
you already heard my X factor. Sorry, I'm just saying.
What was that, Christian?
Not only picked my exact score and also my X factor, so it's hard to really add on to that. I just think Colombia is excellent in the attacking front, and Panama missing their best midfielder in Carrasquilla, who plays for Houston Dynamo. Really sloppy red card. I don't know what he was thinking, taking Pulisic out from the back. Really odd. Anyways, comfortable win, heading them into the semifinals. Andrew has gone with Colombia 3-1, and he hasn't gone with a player for his X factor. He's just said the entire midfield. They are without Jefferson Lerma, who is at Crystal Palace.
Tough loss, but
weak area of the midfield, or weak area of the field for them, in Andrew's opinion. And he thinks that everyone's going to have to step up to kind of keep things intact in that point in the field, because Panama, while they are, not as strong as them, they do have some weapons. So they need to be really strong in that midfield. So he's just gone with the entire group there. So yeah, everybody's got relatively comfortable wins for Colombia. But this is the headline matchup in this round, Uruguay versus Brazil. No Vinny Jr. for yellow card accumulation. So that's a real big
bad yellow card.
So dumb.
Terrible yellow card in that.
How much does that impact your score lines before we get into our predictions?
Huge. Actually, it's made me flip it.
Wow. Okay.
I think I had Brazil beating Uruguay in the final, so of course it has to happen now. But I'm going to flip, doing a 180. I'm taking Uruguay to win 3-2 over Brazil.
Oh, 3-2.
Yeah. Vinny Jr. not being there is a massive problem to me.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah.
And Brazil doesn't really have a real number 9 in this team. I mean, yeah, but
I wonder if he starts him.
They're not. I don't think they're. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I just don't know if they're going to play someone so young in such a big game when he hasn't started any of the games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
No, I mean, maybe they will. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I don't know. I
Probably
just
should.
I'm feeling Uruguay in this game. I just do. And I will not. I don't want to. I won't. I refuse to believe in Lucas Paquetá. Who I stand by the fact that I think he's very overrated. I'm sorry. I just do. I think he's so super overrated.
X factor for you?
Federico Valverde.
Captain's going to step up in this match.
Yeah. Accurate.
Ricardo?
I'm also going to go with Uruguay. I'm going to say 2-1. I don't think Brazil has enough to score more than one goal. So, and I'm also kind of banking on the notion that Rodrigo will play off the left because I mean when Vinny was injured with Real, Rodrigo was way more effective, way better, way more confident coming off the left. So that being said, my X factor is their right back. I'm telling you, I'm going with the right back theme today of Nandes. Which, if assuming that happens, that plays out, that'll be probably the biggest matchup to look for.
Yeah.
So
I'm also going with Uruguay 3-1. And I'm going with Nicolas de la Cruz as my X factor. He's been playing as that central midfielder closer to the striker.
Yeah.
Not as big of a name as some of the other players they have in that area of the field, but doing really well. Goal involvements in this tournament, really connecting well with Darwin Nunez. I think this is going to be a difficult match for Brazil. I really think they've been poor. They were bad against Costa Rica. Kind of bounced back in that second match, but just not inspiring enough. And again, when you take away their best player, considering that all the other forwards have kind of been inconsistent in this tournament, it's hard to really see how Brazil solves this puzzle. It's just really difficult to kind of see where the path is for them to win this match. So I'm going with Uruguay. Also, the same thing for Andrew. He's taking them 1-1, 5-4 on PKs.
He loves the extra time. My gosh. How many extra time games he got?
2, right?
So
no, it's gotta be more.
Obviously there's no extra time in this tournament, but extra time / PKs, he has 3 of these 8 matchups across the 2 tournaments.
And Copa, I think it makes more sense, but even the Euros.
Spain, Germany is going to be tight.
We're gonna get 4. Watch.
Maybe. He's gone with Facundo Palestri as his X factor. Goal and assist against Bolivia. Said he was rather poor against the United States, but he thinks against a inconsistent, weak Brazil team, he could have a big game. So all 4 of us going with Brazil to get knocked out as the pressure continues to weigh on them. I think that's all for us. A little of a shorter episode. We'll expect to get Andrew back next week. Maybe we'll talk about the U.S. because we need to discuss their shortcomings in Copa America. But that's all for us tonight. This will be out on the 4th of July. So we appreciate you watching whenever you do. Check us out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And make sure to check us out next time. See you guys.